I'm James Beshara, CEO and co-founder of Crowdtilt.com. Crowdtilt is crowdfunding for groups of friends. So instead of funding a $40,000 documentary on Kickstarter, you throw up a $1,400 party bus for you and your friends to crowdfund for the weekend. We wrote handwritten notes to our first 1,000 campaign administrators. So the first 1,000 people to throw up campaigns, whether it's for big things like funding an entire wedding or tiny things like a $100 group gift, we were writing handwritten notes thanking these users and drawing little doodles on them, things like that, to add some of our personality to it as well. And it was, at first we thought, okay, we'll write it to our first 100. And then it was the first 250 and then the first 500, because the response has been so positive. It continues to amaze me how the littlest things can have such a big impact on people that just don't expect it from a website, from an application that they use. That seems like a kind of just, it was a great experience, very mechanical, and it worked, but the tiniest little thing like a thank you note it's one of our biggest surprises of how far that can go with our user base. We actually don't know how it's going to scale. We know that right now it has to be about one of every 5 we can afford to write a note to. Saturdays are note writing days. And it's gotten to the point where we can't write to every single person, but and I don't know when we will get to the point where it's more than that, but right now, we're not focusing on the things that necessarily will scale well, but focusing on making sure that in the very beginning we have a foundation of users that really love us as a company and as a service. Yeah, so we would do it again, and we still do it to this day, because the returns are invaluable. You have users that really have a personal connection with you as a company, and with running a startup, you're going to have things go wrong, and it's inevitable. You're going to have have experiences that you really regret for the user, that you want to make better. And if it's at that point that you're trying to establish a personal communication, you've really lost. You've really lost already. It is in having the personal communication and the personal touch from the very get-go that allows you to overcome certain experiences, user experiences that go awry, or issues with your product that most users wouldn't forgive. But since they see you as more of a company that they have a personal relationship with, then they not only forgive you, but they want you to do better. Well, email is very hard to share with your group of friends. So if you have a great email correspondence with the founders of a company you've just used, that's fine. But a physical good, or something a little bit more, like these handwritten notes, that gives them really something physical to share with their friends, to take a picture of, to write about, to tweet about, much more so than just an email. In fact, the email is great for user feedback and opening up a line of communication, but sending stickers and sending notes, sending T-shirts, those are broadcasted to a much wider audience, because it's something that they have a physical interaction with the company. The biggest thing is, like with any outreach effort, you have to be extremely committed to it. And for this type of outreach, where you're communicating with your users, you've got to be fanatical and obsessive about reaching out to them. It's not something you can do, you can dabble in. It's the whole experience is that they can tell that you're fanatical about it, that you're extremely obsessed about pleasing them, about providing them a blissful experience on your site or through your service. So yeah, I would say the biggest mistake you can make is by not being committed to it, by trying it out and then abandoning it after a month, or, God forbid, a few days of trying it out. You've got to be really committed, really committed.